It's fine.
All right, I'm going to take some notes for us today, but we're going to be talking about, I assume, Sarah Meyer and then anything else for the first of the year.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, it's our first guest Zoom, so we just need to figure out, like, do we want any kind of format on this? Um, do we have specific questions? Like, I kind of would be interested in knowing, like, what made you get started in balloons? Um, like, I like the personal stuff. I don't know what anyone else would be interested in, but
Yeah, I think
for
that's
me, those
fine.
kind of questions would be the ones.
Okay, so
So,
I mean, I wrote down what made you get started in balloons, but frankly, I'm not really a personal person. So I care more
okay,
about what's the exact technique you use to build your balloon column and why do you do it that way? And like those are
sure.
I drill down on because that's what I like.
Okay. So then let's have some like what got you started in balloons could potentially be a medium-sized response
Yeah.
if there's a story involved.
Okay.
Um, so then let's just add, and we could probably rearrange the order of this, but let's pepper in some like easy questions that are just quick responses for funsies. Like, what's your favorite? Would we call it a texture? Like the difference between reflex or neon or pearl or metallic, or should we call that a texture, or should we just say what's your favorite color? I'm just thinking again, just some kind of, or your favorite color palette.
So I put down what's your favorite style or texture of balloon? Like, do you have a favorite brand to work with or a color palette?
Sure.
Okay. That's a little
And why? If we're going to ask about the brand, I want to know why.
okay.
Um, let's see. Maybe like, how does your company operate? Like, what, are you working from home? Are you working from a shop? Do you have a storefront? Like that kind of a question. Do you work with employees? I'm trying to think of like some real general questions that then my thought was the second half of this, we could potentially open it up for people to ask their own questions. Maybe like if you could go back, if you could go back in time, what's something you would tell yourself when you got started? What's like, give me like the top 3 pieces of advice you'd give yourself if you could go back and meet yourself at the beginning of this. Um, I mean, since it's New Year's, like, do you have any goals for 2024 that are shareable? Like, I don't know if everybody's comfortable talking about numbers or not. Um, I don't really care, but
So I just GPT'd some stuff just to like quickly help a little bit.
sure.
So yeah, this is not related to us and needs to be edited. But basically the introduction, uh design creative ideas, client yeah, this is going a different direction than we want to talk about, but it started off good. Welcome and introduce the participants that we've got down.
Yes.
Uh,
Introduce yourself. Maybe a good question is, what kind of family dynamic are we rocking? Like, I know she's married with, I think, a bio kid and adopted kid, I believe.
yeah.
Um, so I just think for people, I mean, it's, just a quick, easy question. Um, so people can tell, like, if you're, yeah, I'm not married, I'm a single dude and I work 80 hours a week. Well, that's not really going to be something a lot of people are going to be able to relate to necessarily, but maybe some will, you know?
Okay.
So again, just kind of slightly personal without getting real into somebody's business.
All right, it looks like Katie was trying to jump on too.
Yeah.
I don't know how to help her right now. Okay, so I also put, what does your work week look like? How is the time spent?
Yeah.
I like, do you have any habits or rituals?
Yeah. I kind of like the idea of what makes your company unique. Like, what is your competition like in your area? And then what do you do to stand out? I mean, she may not have any competition in her area, which makes it easy, but
Yeah, that's true. Well, there's stuff that we know, like she has that giant balloon build coming up that would be great to talk about, but I don't really want to.
okay, so yeah, no, but that makes me think of other questions. Like, what are you the most passionate about when it comes to the balloon industry itself, or the balloon industry as it relates to your own company? Like, what is your passion and your drive? Why are you, like, how'd you get started is a good question, but why? Like, what, what are you working for? I know that's kind of, on some levels, it's kind of a deeply personal question, but you know, I think everybody should be asking themselves that, because we just kind of get blinded by working for dollar bills. And then because that's what is put in our face all the time, it tends to become the thing that we're working for, when really that's not why we're doing it.
Okay, and so here's a couple of things that GBT listed off that might help spark some stuff. Client communication and satisfaction. How do we interact with clients and handle objections and problems? Logistic operations, like how do you run
Yeah.
everything? Marketing and promotions, um, different strategies and upcoming promotions and advertising campaigns. How do you get your team to support your marketing efforts? Training and skill development. How do you train people, and are there opportunities and workshops and your team members can improve their skills? Future planning, long-term goals.
I could say biggest challenges. What's your biggest challenge? And then obviously she's got her podcast, so we can, let's talk about the podcast for a little bit and plug that for her, especially if we're going to be becoming sponsors of it.
Yeah.
Which it would be cool if we could confirm that with her and then be able to make that as an announcement. If that's something we wanted to, I feel like we could. Did I text you? I asked her for metrics. Did I text you what her reply was to all that? Or not text
I
you,
think
but put
so.
it
I
in
think you,
the messages.
I think you wrote in some of that.
I'm
I'm looking
gonna
at it right
message
now.
Katie back.
Maybe not.
All right, let me see if I can find that real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna take a screenshot and then it's gonna probably put you on there too. Yep. Yeah, I just put it there and then I messaged. Okay, there you go. I see you messaged it back too. Yeah, so I think we can plug her podcast for her. I mean, that's what we kind of agreed to do with any guest designer, is how can we help you out above and beyond just the subscription service.
There we go. Sorry, guys. Hi.
Yeah, you're good. We were thinking of questions to ask Sarah. So I think we got, how did you get into balloons?
Yeah.
What is your kind of what's her why for, why does she?
I've got them listed out if you want me to just read through them.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. These are not in any particular order, but it's what made you get started in balloons? What's your favorite style or texture of balloon? And do you have a favorite brand to work with and why? Our favorite color palette? How does your company currently operate and how did you get there? Do you have shop, employees? If you could go back in time, what would you tell yourself? The top 3 pieces of advice in running your business? What are your shareable goals for 2024? What's the family dynamic like? What does your work week look like? And how is time spent during the week? Do you have any habits or rituals throughout your day? What makes your company unique? What's your competition like in your area and what do you do to stand out? What are the most things you're most passionate about with the balloon industry itself and how it relates to your company? Do you stay up to date on trends and how? What are your biggest challenges? And your podcast, can you tell us about how you got started, what it is now, and where you see it going?
That's a whole lot of questions when you start listing them out.
Yeah, we don't need to ask them all, obviously, but
Right.
I think they could be well organized, which I think GPT will be great for that. But
Sure.
otherwise,
I feel like they're great.
Okay. So we would like to leave time for other people. I think, John, what we could do is we could have
I would like to plant at least 2 people asking some question. That way we can get other people started because sometimes people are afraid to ask.
we can
I'm a
have
question asker.
we can have people so I'm a part of a mastermind and what they do is you submit your question early. And you have to raise your hand and you have to have your video on for them to actually get to your question when it's time. Like at the end of their whatever they're doing, then they start going into questions and they make people not raise their hand like this, but with the Zoom feature. So then they go and again, I'm super basic when it comes to Zoom, so I haven't really done any of that stuff, but that's what they do. And not everybody, they're like, if you haven't submitted your question already, it's okay. You can still raise your hand and just ask it in person. But at least then we can kind of see. So I think we could have, I believe people are going to ask a bunch of questions, but if they don't, we could have the questions that we want, have like our A squad questions, and then those that we're going to ask if we need to fill more time. And I would like to keep this to an hour for 2 reasons. 1, I got to leave around 2. And 2, I don't want to take up more of her time than we've kind of asked for.
Okay, so these questions could easily be an hour, by the way, but
I know. Yeah.
For formatting, I have introduction, the main subject, which we haven't discussed, the recipes and SOPs that are established this month, in her case, last month, open questions and goodbyes. So I think it'd be a good idea just to mention the stuff that we're adding, even if it's not in great detail. That was her.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we can definitely mention the stuff that, well, it's already been added now because she was our December person.
Yeah, so she was organic garland, columns, and arch, as well as I think she did something else too, right?
I think she had her own classic column or something like that, I believe. I could be wrong. And then also, just on a side note, Jenny Porter is going to be our January person because Chris Adamo, I think I mentioned that already in our thing. Yeah. So I think we've all been there where we've agreed to something at a time when we had time to do it. And then when the time came to actually do it, we're swamped and regretting that decision.
I would love a 1-sentence, 2-sentence bio on her just to get some hype.
Hold on a second, John. I got to put this on speaker.
That's fine.
All right. You would love a what?
I would love for Jenny Porter to have a 1-sentence or 2-sentence bio just to have some type of promotions at the end of that.
Yeah, she had asked me if she could get back to me by the end of this week with some stuff.
Yeah, but if you
And-
get back to us by the end of the next hour or so, then we can say something at this thing.
I'll get it for you.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we message it. I mean,
I mean, Kirsten, if you know her enough to like write it or to message her or whatever you need to do, it doesn't have to be crazy, just something to say, oh, by the way, Jenny's awesome. Come see her.
Yeah, well, and we submitted 2 of her recipes already in December.
Okay.
And for me, they were pretty easy because I didn't really do much. Just put it in the Balloon Guild. Not even, I mean, I would say formatting, but it's literally just copy and paste for the most part.
Yeah, which is fine. Also, just FYI, I have a VA that has some extra hours because I
Okay.
went for the large package. So if there's a way to use a VA for some of this stuff that we need done, I'd rather be doing that than losing the hours, right?
Yeah, of course.
And if we find a way that we can justify using a VA for some of this, then we can justify paying a VA for it too. But
So one thing that can be done, we talked about it briefly, and I guess we just need to determine. I feel like it's something that I personally want, everything translated into Spanish. And that's pretty easy using the Canva. Like I've been doing that with everything new.
prefer
And-
someone
and
that speaks Spanish
now
do that, but yeah.
What's that?
I prefer someone that speaks Spanish do that, but yes, I think it using Canva could make it easy.
Well, we had someone generously volunteer to edit all of our things, but I'm like, you're not a subscriber, lady. I see what you're doing. You know.
Yeah.
But to me, that's something that I'm interested in. And I think it's because of a big market that exists that we don't have right now. So I would like to like, you know, tell them that we've been ready for them for whatever. And then I would have, I'm gonna talk with Paola about being our today, January, February, March person. So, and I know she is big in the Spanish world.
So I think that would be a good goal to have like by the end of March, the Spanish stuff done.
Yeah, I just was thinking it could be on a list of easy stuff for somebody to do, like the VA person. I mean, there might be other things on the list and maybe they would take more priority, but this could be something that's on there at least.
Okay. Kristen, do you have something to say or are you just testing out the hand holding?
Oh, I was doing the raising my hand thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so
so you
just
know
by
what
the
it
way,
looked like, because
just because he and I
know what it was
talk,
like.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Just because he and
I
I
would
talk
interrupt.
doesn't mean you can't talk too.
Yeah. Sorry, I haven't. I've been MIA. I've had some surgeries and stuff.
Yeah.
It's been a mess. I apologize for that. I'm back on track now. Where do we land with Lily?
She never replied to me at all. And I'm not gonna waste time pushing somebody that I don't have a relationship with. That you know, I'm not gonna waste time hunting her down.
And we don't make her enough money. Is probably the short answer.
I'm assuming she uses Facebook like a normal person. So I'm assuming that means she got my message. And if she's not gonna reply to it, then I'm not begging people.
No, I don't think you should.
So, yeah. So, let's chat about the goals. That stuff is in the bed of my truck if you want. I'm not rushing you. You're welcome to chill as long as you want.
I'll probably have Blake help me move it.
So I would like to set the goal of 500 subscribers by the end of the year. I know it's a big goal. I don't see why we can't push for it.
What's the number now?
Let me check. I think
He's 130.
yeah, and we did get a lot with
I'll double check.
the stuff John was doing and all these other accounts. Or not other accounts, but on Facebook on different groups.
Yeah, I only did that for a very short amount of time. And while we
Right.
were doing it, I think we hooked up like 50 people.
Right. It was definitely a good number of people. I think we just started the guest designer not even that long ago. I think we're gonna be at float this year, which is another thing that is on my short list of things to work on. Because we gotta make sure we have everything lined up for that.
We have
Um,
175 active members. And we
So-
were at the end of Bull and Boss Mastermind at like 102.
Right.
Wow, okay.
So
Yeah.
between Sarah's podcast and the stuff I was doing on Facebook, we got about 70 people.
Right.
Nice.
So, I mean, I almost feel like I think 500, if I'm gonna like have two goals, I like to have a goal that I feel like is attainable, but we still have to work for it. I think that would be the 500 by the end of the year. The maybe unrealistic goal would be 500 by the end of June. Yeah, halfway through.
What's your retention like? Like when somebody joins, how long are they staying for?
The average member lifetime value, right now it says the average is 4 months. But also half of those people have only been here 3 months.
Right. And we just had a couple people cancel last week. I don't know why. They should be getting, everybody who cancels gets an email. I would like that email to have some kind of feedback.
Okay, here we
Where-
go.
But-
I think the Spanish community it's huge. Like
Right.
when Jenny and I went to Miami and she taught in Miami and at Toy World, I would say if we had 50 people, no joke, 40 of them were Spanish speaking,
Right.
if not more.
Yeah, so we could also go after more Spanish speaking guest designers. If we could get Gabby to be a guest designer, that'd be amazing. I just don't know.
So I'm looking at the numbers. We were hovering around 80 and it hit 88 in October. In November, we hit 140. In December, we hit 170.
Yeah.
So I think
So what happened in
responsible-
October?
I was responsible for the 40 in November, and I think Sarah was responsible for the extra 25 in December.
What, John, what's the total number that we've had? Like, we should be at like 210 or 211 or something.
215.
215. So that means would you say we're sitting at active 160,
175.
175? So that's
So we've
like
had 40 leave.
Yeah. And there's a couple periods of time when that happened the most. And one of them there was 1 month, it might have been October. We had a lot of people leave because we just weren't putting a lot out because you were busy, I was busy, everybody was busy. And the thing is, we still had recipes going out. We just didn't have very much interaction.
And we didn't have the recipes they were asking for, and they were asking for like crazy ones.
Yeah, so that changed. And then I still like the idea. So to me, John, the email, I know I mentioned a couple times, like having a lead magnet to get emails in the long run is something I want to do. But effectively, that's what you've been doing, getting people into our Facebook group. So it's just not with emails. You've got them to join up into the group, which is great because now we have people who should be seeing the information we're putting out. Which
Yeah.
is
What I
kind of-
found with Balloon Boss Mastermind, at least with my stuff, is while I'm active, I see it all the time. But as soon as I stop being active, it leaves my groups. So that's a very, very short window that they're going to be seen. So in that short window, we still need to have a lead magnet or a way to collect their emails.
Yeah, well, and for sure, I mean, and who knows what Facebook's gonna do? Facebook could do something crazy and we lose all the contacts. I don't want our business to be relying solely upon any one thing. If we don't have to. So, yeah, I mean, that, I mean, for me, that's kind of the goals that I have as far as numbers. I definitely would like to start getting paid this year at least. I think that would be another goal. I don't have a specific number in mind for that, but
So,
or some timeline for that either. I don't have either of those.
so how many recipes would we like to add this year?
I mean, I would love to get to a place where we're adding like 10 a month,
Okay,
8 a month, 10 a month. That's gonna be getting 4 to 5 from our guest designers, and then we're putting in 4 to 5.
okay.
I think it's a realistic goal.
It's a
If
it's a
you have a
lot
guest des- if
for what
if you have a guest designer.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of recipes a month for what we're asking for people to pay.
But I think
Um,
as we get our guest designer spot more notoriety and more stuff, I think it'll be more desired. So for instance, if I were looking at this as an outsider and you said to me, oh, you just need 10 recipes to be a guest designer, I'd come up with 10 recipes so that I could be a guest designer. Because the
Okay.
extra publicity and promotion coming from that.
You mean to get people to kind of,
I want people to be begging to be a guest designer and to give us recipes. I think that would be ideal.
okay. So
Is
then,
it po-
go ahead,
Sorry, I
Kristen.
just want to throw this out here. Sorry. Is it possible for, like, I'm very new in this industry, so like I have my favorites or whatever. But is there a way to compile a list of people who you think have notoriety in this industry and go after them? Right? Like, I think
Easy.
I would call someone like Tabitha and say, who do you follow on Instagram? And then that would be my list. That's how I would do it.
You could look at who's structures for different, like, to me, that's who the first people I would think of. I do want to ask David Mahoney also. I mean, he's
Like,
a subscriber, but I would love to ask him, just see what he would say.
okay, because like Anna Karina is big in Canada. Like she's super fucking talented. And she makes a ton of money. She like, so like bringing people from other places too. Like what about someone from the UK?
Yeah,
What about
no,
someone from
love-
Canada? What about, you know,
for sure.
anyone in Australia? I don't know. I think some big names would be good. Like, did you guys spend any time with Tiffany at Summit?
I did a very tiny bit, so not a lot of time.
Hold on, Jenny Porter's calling me. I'm just gonna mute you.
Okay. So I wrote down for Q1, lead magnets for emails.
We also need, I would like to have this by the end of the first quarter, like to revisit the push to these distributors. Cause I haven't had time to get them the flyers that they will put in their stuff for us. So that's something that needs to happen. I still need to get the PayPal thing set up for us as well. So that we can actually pay affiliate people if that's happening. So before I forget about that too, we need to set a date, and I wouldn't mind it being a consistent date where we have a monthly Zoom for just the Balloon Guild. Not for a guest designer, but just these are all the things that are happening. This is all that's coming up. This is where we're at. These are the things we're doing. Do you guys have suggestions, feedback? How are you using the service the most? What's, like, I would like to get some of that stuff. And if people are asking these questions, because a lot of them have nothing to do with designs. And I told them, save that question and let's talk about it when we do a Zoom call.
So the other thing too is if we do that Zoom call and we specifically ask for a couple of designs, I could be making one of the designs while I'm listening and you're answering other questions.
Sure.
So we could be having one being done while we're on the call.
Yeah. And I think it was pretty fun making that gingerbread man with a dozen people jumping on and off the Zoom while doing that.
Yeah.
So I think people like that. And then on the YouTube channel, I put those balloon drop videos as unsearchable. or whatever the word is.
Yep, unlisted.
Yeah. Just cause I'm not, I mean,
That's
To
the
me,
same thing
that's-
I'm gonna do with the other one that we just did. I had one for SEO that we sat on and jumped on. I think Katie jumped on, some other people jumped on.
I would also put, so again, this is part of where the discussion will need to happen is our private group that we're not restricting members from joining or anybody from joining. I want that to be the place, the private group in general, I want to be the place where we can put a link directly there and say, hey, this is something that we did. You have access to it as part of the subscribe, as part of the service. And I don't want to ever have to take it down. But if we have 550 some odd people in that group and we only have 160 people who are subscribers, we're giving that access to a lot of people who aren't paying. I'm fine doing that for a time and then kind of figuring out how to basically say something to the effect, if you've been enjoying all these videos and all this behind the scenes stuff that's going on with the Balloon Guild, that is part of our paid subscription. And if you're not a paid subscriber, whatever,
Auditor, no, I gotta get Griffin to do it.
whether we need to create a different group that we just put all the paid subscribers in, which I don't really want to do, or we try to shuffle non-paid subscribers to our page, which our page is really where we need to have.
Page does not allow interactions like a group. A page
No,
is different than a group.
but it does help with SEO stuff,
Okay.
like people who are looking for it. And that is something to me that would definitely help. So we could put little clips on the public page. I think that would be a great idea, actually.
And speaking of SEO stuff, there's some SEO stuff that I have not done because it costs money. But that might be worthwhile when we're ready to
Sure.
go that route. I'm trying to look at the prices there.
Is there, so in, when it comes to like the private and then the open group, my thought is I would create a private group and then send an email to your current, like your current members, and then send them like, hey guys, we're creating the private group, so this is where you can share your stuff, and we get a little bit more in depth. We'll post the links and do all the things here for a bit more private, glorified group on this side. Feel free to unfollow the other one, or you can stay in both and see what happens in both. But this is going to be for paying members only. And then, like, as me, because I like to feel special, I would go on and be like, yep, I'm definitely joining this one.
Right.
I would stay in both because I like all the information. But
only thing about the other group is I will no longer be putting very much of anything in it.
yeah. So what
The
I would do on that is whenever you post something on the Balloon Guild profile, I would then share it to that group, because that's all like the more private stuff. And again, one click, you can basically ignore that group.
Right.
I'll be in it so I can like monitor dirty comments or whatever, but.
Okay. Yeah, and that I'm fine with. I know, like I said, Marlene Potts was all about that for sure. Like I had an hour conversation with her trying to convince me that's exactly what we need to do.
Yeah, it's the feeling of feeling like a member and fancy and next level is the main thing to me when I'm paying for something. Like,
Yeah,
so
I
when
think-
people go on and share my posts from Mastermind, that makes me frustrated. 'Cause I'm like, I pay $140 a month for this, and now you're stealing my stuff that I'm paying for.
Yeah.
I have a Canadian artist that's doing that to me.
Yeah, I definitely think that we absolutely need more than one group. We need one group that's public and one group that's private.
Yeah. And then,
I like
so
the
I'd keep
idea
the one
of-
that we currently have because there's so many in it.
Yeah, I think
And then
keeping
create a
that and making
private.
that the public one, and then telling everybody else, hey, you know, we did a marketing push, you know, so this has become open acceptance, but we have a private one that we're putting together for you now.
The Balloon
Yeah,
Guild
and then
would-
have that one. and then have that one as like Balloon Guild members, and then have the question email that you signed up for, and then that way, I don't know if you can like mail out a list or you guys can monitor that question and just double check.
We weren't it before, and there it just, once when people find the community group and not the public page, that happened. There was one period where there was like 20 or 30 people, and I was excited, but none of them ended up signing up, even though that's kind of, I told them it was a private group. They just didn't. So it didn't really help us. And then when John started doing the stuff, there's a lot more people who started, and that's where I was like, I don't want to turn away all of the potential that these people represent. So that's I think I don't know how long you have to wait before you can rename a group, because we might just rename the one that we have now, the Balloon Guild Public, and the other one Balloon Guild Private, or Super Secret Special Superstars, or I don't know.
Or members only.
Yeah, either
Yeah.
way, the naming is, because they're both the Balloon Guild right now, so it's hard for me to know which is which. Like, I always forget. So I think the image is going to be better, like members only, and then the Balloon Guild. Like, I think the image
Yeah.
makes it easier for me.
Yeah.
Fans only and members only.
Yeah. Only the fans. Yeah. So,
That's amazing. Jenny will have this to me in 20 minutes.
awesome.
Okay.
Thank you very
She's
much.
just driving
for taking
home
care of
from
that.
an appointment. So I
Yeah,
said
and
you have
again, what we were asking for specifically for today is just like a 1 sentence, 2 sentence something, like nothing super crazy. And then if she wants
Oh,
like,
I could give that to you by myself, but she's gonna write something. I could easily write that. Jenny loves combos, take 5, tacos. She's
Yeah.
an award-winning international balloon artist.
yeah, and aside from her food choices and her snacks, she does balloons. So that's why we have her
She
on.
goes, this is my bio. Jenny Porter loves balloons, period. She'll have something in 20. I'll get it over to you.
Okay, awesome. So we can use that for that. Gerber, are you running the questions today?
Sure. If that's what you want,
I mean,
fine
I'm
with
not saying that's what I want. I'm just saying, like, I don't know.
I don't care who does it.
Like, do we really want to be teaming her on this, or we want to make it a little easier? I feel like it'd be easier not having 2 people grilling
Sure.
you.
Okay. I
Choose
mean, but
one.
if you have like a follow-up question or something that isn't sometimes I ask a question, I'm like, that is so interesting. I have so many more questions now. You know what I mean? Like,
So my OCD says you handle one thing, I handle another, you handle one thing, I handle another. Like, it makes it easier, I think. But as far as not stepping on each other's toes or both of us yelling the same question at the same time.
yeah, then just send me the list that we have. And then think I need to get off for a little bit. I was gonna we need to get the link sent out to everybody. Ideally in the future, we need to have that, like, this is going to be the link on this date and time, which I know you can do because I've got it from other people.
I have a room ID that is the same every single time. Like, you guys could go to the same link anytime you want to. If 2 people show up, it's open.
Okay, well then I think we talked about that before. That would be an ideal situation that I would love for our subscribers to be able to have access to, if that's something you're okay with.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Really, it's just my phone number is the code. So, like,
Okay.
it doesn't matter to me.
Shirts. Somebody else had asked us about that before Christmas, I think.
Yeah,
had
Kristen, I think we were talking to you or Katie, somebody about shirts through you guys too. So that's why I didn't commit to anybody.
So, okay, so I don't care what you do. Like, I don't know what your pricing is, but I sent you a link about shirts, Gerber, and you were gonna order them because they were cheaper for you to order. So,
okay. I didn't realize that you were waiting on me to do actionable steps.
I mean, we don't need to. So here's where I'm at. So we've ordered the Balloon Guild crest and the Balloon Guild backing, like that's on the shirt that you gave me.
Okay.
So now I just have to iron it on some stuff so that you guys can see. So I've got a big crest, like a 9x9 inch crest, a small 5x5 crest, and a thin line for the back.
Okay. Okay.
But we weren't sure when shirts because you were saying that you were trying to order shirts for your employees and you weren't sure about shirts, so I held off on shirts.
No, you're fine. I just spaced on, I think in my mind we were talking, not that I was needing to do anything at that point. Okay, well then let's chat about that again. And then, I
So-
wanted shirts that we potentially can maybe bring to float or have people wearing at float would be even better.
Okay.
And then
Um,
my, like, on the side goal for all that is to have shirts, pins, stickers, and magnets type stuff that we could be ready to run with.
yeah, I
right?
would say let's make a list of stuff, for, float. And then we could do a couple of things with the shirts. One, if we're able to get them to people before float, which right now we should be able to. Great.
Or we take them with us and hand them out to people there.
Exactly. If you show up and you have, people could pre-buy shirts and we give them to them
Mhm,
if they're coming to float.
mhm.
I like the idea of the special like founder thing. Didn't we talk about that at one point? Like,
So I like the idea of a bumper sticker that says Balloon Guild, and I like the idea of founding member, or anything that looks like it adds credibility that people will put on their delivery vehicles.
okay.
I
Yeah,
have a car magnet. It's my own business brand. I love it. And people ask me about it a lot. So I have a Scan Me. I have my logo. I would put a magnet on my car.
yeah. Okay, if that can be a list that I can get to, it's probably gonna have to be first thing next week.
Mhm.
Because tomorrow I'm at a tournament all day, Saturday I'm at a tournament all day. And that means Sunday, which I'm not, I might actually have to work Sunday, so I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah.
can we, sorry, I just have to ask this question. So I feel like for the last like month or so, like I haven't really been active. And so like I've been sort of sitting here like waiting. Like what should I be doing something right now? Like I felt very like unsure about what I was supposed to be doing. Like could we do more follow-up meetings with you guys? Like
Yes, I'm
every
available every week.
I
okay.
think what happened was, and this is, and we mentioned it in the guild, like I have a client that pretty much makes us crazy people for 2 weeks in December. And then after those 2 weeks, it's like the week of Christmas. And I am like, I'm not really going to do much work at all. I'm going to enjoy
Yeah.
the time with my family. And then
Yeah.
after Christmas, it's crazy time until New Year's Eve is done. So
Yeah,
I already knew I was going to be pretty disconnected for December.
Cool. Okay.
But as far as your in general, I'm available all the time. Like I purposely make myself available for stuff, and I
Cool.
keep my schedule empty. So
Yeah.
knows that I'm hanging out with them until I have to work, and then I work, and then I go back to my family. So I have a
If
little
we're,
Fair.
yeah, if we're doing monthly meetings for the whole group, then all of us should be doing at least another 1 or 2 meetings during the month.
Okay,
And
cool.
I think it is like, let's get a list together of all the things that we're working on, who's
Yeah.
working on what, and then we just revisit that list and add to it and take away from it when it's done.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
just hit that over and over and over.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. Okay, cool. Gerber, you're leaving, right? Right now?
Yes, I need
Fudge,
to hop
can you stay on?
because
I can't hear you.
Can you stay on for like 5
Yeah,
minutes?
I've got another hour. I blocked 2 hours.
Okay, cool.
All right, I'll see you guys. Just message me when you want me to
I
get on,
sent it,
but,
I sent it in chat, the conversation here.
okay. All right, but let me know when we need to get on the Zoom for Sarah. I mean, I'm thinking no later than 12:30, right?
When is it scheduled?
For 1 PM our time, John.
Then yeah, 12:30 would be great. That would allow us time to go over stuff.
Yes, okay.
Do you want us there for 12:30 as well, or no? Just
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? You guys are part of the situation.
okay. Okay, bye. Have fun.
All right.
Don't work too hard.
Yeah.
That alarm so I don't forget about it. I now have an alarm on my phone that literally says Gerber.
That's amazing. Okay. First thing, I just have to tell you that when I read some of the comments that you write on things, I am literally dead. Like,
Okay.
I can't, it just fucking kills me. Like the most recent one makes me laugh. I chuckled to myself. Jamie was complaining about something, and you're like, yeah, it's hard being a business owner. Go be an employee
It
somewhere.
was from last year though. It was
I
the
know.
last year comment that I commented on. So if you don't remember, that's why.
I
Yeah, it
don't
was
remember it
last
at
year.
all, but okay.
Oh, Jamie was complaining about something being difficult, and your response
Paying
was
for another subscription. That's what it was. Paying for another
Yes.
subscription.
Maybe.
and she's like, she was whining, and you're like, well, it's hard to be a business owner. You just go be an employee somewhere else. I fucking died. It was great. Sorry, I probably shouldn't swear. Your daughter's probably home. I apologize.
No, yeah, well, I mean, being a business owner absolutely sucks.
Yeah.
And for many, many things. And yeah, so I could see
There's
me
a cost of being a
having
business owner.
a little less tact than I try to have now.
It's really great though. Like, I love it. I hope you don't change. I
Yeah, well,
think it's great. Because here's the thing, let's be real. A lot of us are thinking the things that you're saying, but nobody says it.
yeah.
Right? Like, people probably read her comment and were like, oh my God, Jamie, like, this is the cost of doing business, right? But you just come out there and say it, and it's just great. So keep being you. I just want to say that.
I was just hanging out with my sister yesterday, and we were walking by a guy outside of Cracker Barrel, one of the restaurants down here, and there's a guy smoking, and her son walks right up to him. He's a little 7 or 8 year old, and he goes, I don't like smoking.
Yep.
It just stops and stares at him, expects an answer from random guy on the corner.
Oh, it's
His
amazing.
dad's like trying to push him, and I'm sitting here thinking, like, I hope this guy thinks his kid has like some issues so that he doesn't get angry.
That's amazing.
But yeah, I mean,
Can I just
maybe,
read this to you? Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say maybe it's in the family. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I think it's great.
Okay.
Don't ever stop doing that. Okay, so this is Jenny just sent me this. Jenny is a certified balloon artist and international balloon award winner. She's also a world traveler, has attended conferences and big balloon builds across the world. Not only has she now I don't know what that was supposed to say. It doesn't make sense. Oh, sorry. Not only has she attended many, she has been an instructor and a lead designer in the balloon industry. There's no obstacle too big or small for her. Her dreams are big, and she cannot wait to share the next big adventure with you.
That sounds great. Can you copy paste it to me somewhere where I can copy paste it?
Yeah, it's not grammatically great, so I'm just gonna
You're gonna have to
change it a
give me
little.
2 seconds. My mother-in-law's here.
Perfect.
Okay, the concern wasn't opening the door, it was I had to put on pants.
Oh, great. Okay. Okay, sorry. My next question is,
Oh, I'm sorry. Last thing I said, can you drop that somewhere I can see it? Or
I
did
have
you?
to rewrite it. It'll take me 2 minutes, but yes, I will do it
Okay,
right
got
now.
it.
Next question. So in our last meeting, we were talking about having us do some of the Canva work, like switching columns to arches or arches to columns. I can't remember which. I'd have to look at the notes, but I don't know that I think it was columns to arches.
Okay.
Do you remember this conversation?
It sounds like it's probably one I would have had. Yeah, okay, go on.
Cool. So I think it was arches. What do you have more of in the guild? Arches, like different patterns.
Yeah, we have a lot of arches and columns and classic stuff.
So I think Gerber was saying he wanted to make, in order to make more recipes, to make the balloons, like the arches, into columns. So like, do we just?
I've
I
already
can't
done that.
remember. That's already done.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
been done. He just doesn't know where they are, apparently.
perfect. Okay,
But they're
cool.
already
I'm glad
done.
I didn't sit and do it because I was like, this feels weird. So, okay,
So
cool.
flat arch, maybe. I don't have the flat arches done. So I have the
Okay.
columns done for flat columns, but I don't have them translated into arches. So theoretically, you could do the flat arches. That could be one.
Not sure I want to commit to that yet. I need to look at it. I hate.
It's the same thing. It's just dragging and dropping colors.
Okay.
But I think you have to have the brand. No, it's in our Canva. So if you log into our Canva, you should be able to find the colors and then drag and drop the colors to get the patterns.
On a side note, I was building a bunch of shit in your Canva, and I was like, where's all my downloads? Like I can't find anything. So because my email address is on 2 accounts, it's on your account and on my own account, I was building stuff in there. Anyways, I've cleaned it all out. So I apologize for that, as I didn't realize that's what was going on. It's very confusing.
Wait, did you clean out ours or did you clean out yours?
I cleaned out yours. I moved all of it to mine.
Oh, you copy pasted your stuff?
No, it says like move to your other account. Like you can right click it and move to your account. So it's just
Oh,
like,
copies it?
yeah. So like my marquees and stuff, all of like I do weird pictures of marquees and stuff when I'm posting my own stuff.
All right, let me pull it open and look at it because I don't
You
know.
won't see it. It's gone.
Oh, it's gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just, I'm saying I was using your account as if it was my own personal when I
Oh,
was like
yeah.
making ads and stuff.
So we have a folder called building blocks. And if you go
Yeah.
to building blocks, it has resources, which are like the shadow people. And then I have tassels, foils, 260s, links, helium, and rounds.
Yep.
And so that's basically what I use.
Yes. Same as us. Okay, cool.
Okay.
I got that from Joette.
Yeah, and I've added some because hers is kind of corrupted in some of it, but
Yeah, it is.
no.
We've had to redo some of them. Okay, cool. Is there anything else you need from us in the meantime?
I would love you're saying you're feeling like you don't have anything to do. I'd love to have something that you could be doing.
Like what? No, it's not like I don't feel like I have nothing to do. Well,
Yeah.
sort of, but I just don't know what I should be doing. Like that's what he told me to do, and there's no follow-up.
So for instance, I don't want to give you a list of 20 things and say, go cry in a corner because these 20 things aren't done. But I
Yeah.
would love to say, here's 20 things or whatever that you can just go to number 1 and knock it off.
Yeah.
When you get it crossed off, cross it off and go to the next one. So like, I
Okay.
just feel like I would love to have a list of stuff that you are capable of doing. So do you have access to our Canva? Is that yes?
Yep.
Okay, so that's great. Some of the stuff are the website banners. I don't know if you're into like designing stuff or not, but I started doing these website banners for the different pages. And really, I'm just making them because I'm making these websites pages. I haven't actually done a lot on the website as far as the site itself, but I did update the resource page quite a bit, actually.
Okay. Yeah.
And I took Marlene Potts' advice of just creating a link to go see who it is. But if you click on, I want to say Qualitex distributors, it takes you to a page on our website.
Cool.
And so like the idea was to have all the information on our website so they're not going to someone else's website. But in the meantime, have a link that they can go to for other places, right?
Yeah.
And then we've got some of these that I had originally. I didn't take those away. I just added to. So yeah, anyway, so the actual pages of the website, public and private, if there's any thought on that, let's make this number 1 to clarify. If there's any edits to the main website on things we should add or take away to make things easier, that would be a good thing to know. For instance, the recipe page, you guys wanted specific places to go for those. It would be super helpful if I had a square icon or image that I could use that worked as the menu for those things. So for instance, if one of those is holidays, and then that would be the main clicker on the recipe page. But then when I go to the holiday page, I need a holiday header. And then I need all the subcategory linky clicky things. Does that make sense?
I think so. I think so.
So let me share a screen. So okay, so so if you're looking at events and training, I need a header for the top of the page.
Yeah. This is exactly what I understand. Yep.
Yeah, but then you need little clicky links, like smaller versions that are square, ideally. So not this one, that are like Balloon Boss Mastermind, Florida Super Jam, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And so those would be your little clicky. So I need little clicky ones. And then ideally for each little clicky one, okay, that's a better way to say it. For every category of header or subheader, I need a square icon that says what it says, and I need a header at the top of the page.
So square pictures and headers.
Yeah, so like here, assuming this is correct, it would be like carriage recipes and then carriage. So I need a square one and a banner. So if I have a banner and a square one for each of those, that would be helpful. Now, because of the nature of things, I may not need both of those for every one, but if we have both of them, it makes it easy to do.
Well, and then we can decide later if we need to use it somewhere else. Okay, and have you done any? Like, I just don't want to repeat work.
So what I've done is I've done the free recipe. So if we go to projects and go to,
I can't see if you're trying to show me.
sorry, I'm looking for, okay, so here I'm going to show you, and hopefully this will be correct. So I'm going to create a folder, and I'm going to call it website assets. I'm going to say, edit, continue. Okay, so now that I have website assets, maybe it'll let me drop this in here and then make a copy. Oh, this is the wrong one. So technically, website assets, if I click on it, it should be the banner and the menu options. So right here are the menu options that I already have. Oh, wrong button. So I have some of them done, but they're not the best, but there's some of them. We're missing distinctly recipes about Hanukkah, New Year's Eve, arches, ceiling decor, and centerpieces. Now, New Year's Eve might just be a balloon drop, right?
Pop drop, I think would be perfect for that.
Yeah, so either one would be fine, right? So like the idea is like, I tried to use images that we owned or were using or that I made or whatever, but like, this is kind of the idea. So I had this, and theoretically, if we had, I mean, you could make a copy or change, it doesn't matter, but like,
I'll just duplicate.
Yeah, this is one that I did, and then, and I did this because I wanted it to show up in the, featured image correctly. But you don't have to worry about that. I can figure that out.
This is the correct sizing of the banner right here.
I don't know. That's what I was using.
And it's working, like it's showing up okay in the website.
Yeah. So for me, it does not matter. What matters is that it's consistent.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to use this form.
Yeah. So, and if you say, I hate this, we're doing something else, that's fine. Just do it
the same. Change them all. Yeah. Consistency. Got it.
Yeah. So, but I'm assuming you can see that folder. So if you go to all projects after you log in, you actually, yeah, all projects.
Hold on, I'm gonna go to it while I'm on with you. Just because we could, if there's a problem, it's good you're on right now.
Okay, yeah. So if you want to go to the one that looks like a folder, and then look for the folder, and I titled it website assets. And you're welcome to run away with that folder with anything that you could do for the website. Because a website is only as pretty as the photos that you edit. So it's like, right now this is all text, and that's okay, but it's all text. So even our about page is like all text, right? SOPs, that's another one. And then for the categories, this is what I have right now. So you can kind of see, you can click on the category drop down and see what those are. Or you can just click on it and get an idea, right? But I've used very, very similar icons through the whole thing. So that's what these are based off of. The idea is that everything on the website that looks like this is a clickable link. So I tried to make them all clickable links. And there's a balloon drop one, so that's good to know. But that's just to kind of give us an idea. But in Canva, were you able to access website assets?
Yep.
Okay, so that should be.
I see 2 things in there right now. Yep,
Yep.
perfect.
That should be all you need. And then you can add new folders and images and all this other stuff you need to do for that too.
Yeah.
I would just say that add to or duplicate these. And then this may not actually save, we'll see. So now you can do, when you duplicate, you can edit to take away original, and then you're good to go.
Yeah.
But then that would be the way to start. And then you can, that'd be website. So for one of your list of things to do, I'd say making the website pretty is good. And I like the idea of when you go to a recipe page, you have the menu up here and then the text below it. Or this and then the text below it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Also our release.
I don't hate your website. It's clean. I enjoy how clean your website is. Like visually, it's not. I find when people start putting a ton of pictures on, it starts to get messy.
Yeah, so this is what we're trying to do here, right? And also the releases, this is written by AI.
Okay.
So, and that's okay, but like that could be rewritten theoretically.
Yeah.
Same with this. Like these just need to be read and checked to make sure they make human sense.
Yeah.
That's really. Yeah,
who's
like,
doing that? Who's responsible for that?
Well, that's what I'm adding to your list.
No, sorry. Who has been responsible to
It's
date?
automatically done with AI. Like we don't even post these posts.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's
you're not going
100%
into
automated.
ChatGPT and saying, please write me a post about blah blah blah. You're not doing that.
No, it's already,
automatically happening.
It's automatically done. What happens is on December 31st, the clock resets. And on January 1st, the first person that clicks on this resources tab or the releases tabs, it pops up and populates and runs this thing. So if you go on the first and you click on it, you're the first one, you don't see December, for instance, then that means you were the first one. If you refresh, it'll show this post.
Wow.
So that's
okay. Yeah. So review updates.
Yeah, just review the updates, and if they need to be changed, just make a note of it, because I can go there and change them very easily.
Yeah.
But
you need to know. Yeah.
You just need to know. Do you have a login to the website yet?
Like not a behind the scenes login. Like I've been paying since day one.
Okay, yeah. So let me see if I can figure out how to do that.
Honestly, Jonathan, right now in this moment, right now, I'm not mentally in a place to like learn how to do this, but
Okay.
I'm also nervous to like fuck something up because I don't
Okay, awesome.
do
Then I won't give you that. So
okay.
If you read these, you can read them as any person on the internet. You're not going to be able to stir anything up. And if December had a problem, you can just copy paste December and say December was a problem, fix this, and then
highlight,
paste the answer.
And maybe in a day like we can spend and you can like walk me through and I can take good notes. I'm just not mentally prepared right this second to do that.
Okay, no, that's fine. And so what I'll do is I'll create a video for you on how to edit the recipes.
Cool.
So let me find the page I'm trying to show you, and you don't have to worry about this, but I just want to show you what I'm talking about. Share screen. So this is our list of recipes. And so all of these have classifications, architecture, color count, styles, and size, or they're
Mhm.
supposed to anyway. But you
Mhm.
can see this is missing some,
Mhm.
this is missing all of them. So flat
Yeah.
wheat Christmas, like, you can tell Gerber did it because it doesn't have anything. So if you go and hit edit, and then this is Flat Wheat Christmas Tree by Jenny Porter. So this will pop up, and then this will be, you would just kind of look at what it is and click on it. This is sculpted. It's technically a square pack. I mean, you could say it's classic because it's a column. I mean, I guess you could say it's a centerpiece, right? These classifications are what we were talking about changing anyway in the
Mhm.
future. So we would do, so it'd be like holidays instead of like what it is.
Right.
Like this would be column, sculpture. And then if you wanted to do color stack, you could. And then we don't know the size, so it doesn't really matter. But then you hit update, and now this is updated, and it'll now show up
Cool.
the correct thing. So that's
I would love to get to a point where I can do these things, but like just not right today.
that's fine. That's fine. And I'm not trying to say, here's your list of 20 things, go cry in a corner. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
not
yeah,
the
yeah,
goal.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm very, very aware that this can be any one of these tasks can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to overwhelm you. I'm just trying to let you know here are some of the things that can be done.
Yeah.
And so when you say, hey, I think I'm ready to go edit categories now, then I
Yeah.
can put that together. But I just
Okay.
want you to have that list. Here are the things that we could do.
Yeah.
Another one is writing a monthly newsletter, which you could very easily use our releases tab to write the monthly newsletter. Hey, last month was so awesome. We had the gingerbread man, the columns, the Christmas trees. Did you see all the amazing Christmas trees our members put out in group? Here's 3 pictures of group members that put out our Christmas trees. Make sure you check it out. I'm hoping it's working well for you. Oh, and Happy New Year's. I hope your balloon drops went successful with our new SOP. Like you could make it that. Very, very a salesy type approach, but you could do that and that'd be okay. The idea is that we just need something regularly that goes out, and we can always make something better, but we need something before we can make it better. Can't steer a parked car, right?
That's fun. Yeah. So, okay, so when would you want to release your newsletters?
Not on the first, because you won't have this to use to help you write it.
So on the 2nd of each month or 3rd?
I'd say the beginning of the second week is fine.
Okay, 2nd week.
So
of
that would
month.
give you the first week of the month, you would be writing a newsletter, and you could use this to look at
Okay, cool.
if that's what you were doing. So
Yep.
that would be another one of those lists. And again, I'm saying all you for all these, but it doesn't need to be you. And
It also includes Katie. I just feel like
I am here. I'm just
Yeah.
as I go.
and we talked about 17 hours a day. So I just there's like where's Jen these days? Nikos.
oh, she's in the middle of doing a big balloon build in her city. She's super busy right now.
Amazing. Cool. I just don't want to I don't want anyone in this group to be duplicating work that's already done or being done, right?
Yeah, so right now I'm having the 2 of you be I'm like having you guys hold the to-do list.
Okay. Yeah.
And then what I will do with Jen, I'll say, hey, Jen, Kristen and Katie are jumping on this and they're running with this, if there's anything you can do you mind seeing what their to-do list is and letting them know what you can cross off? Like that would
Yeah.
probably be the approach.
Okay,
But
cool.
if you're comfortable taking lead on it, I'll just have you be lead, and then what that means is in a very like overview sense, you're in charge of everything getting done, but like you don't have to do it all. In fact,
Yeah.
I
If
prefer you
we're
didn't do any of it if it got done, right?
And if we're meeting regularly, this isn't a problem anymore. But I feel like I didn't hear there was no discussion over the past month, which is Christmas and everyone's busy, and I get that. But I was like, should I be doing stuff? Like I don't know what I should be doing right
So
now.
there's 2 things. One is you're excited, we're excited, a lot of stuff is being said.
Mhm.
The second, I guess there's three things. The second is that we're all busy. And then
Yeah.
the third thing is that Gerber and I both feel horrible asking anyone to help us with a project that we know we can't afford to pay you for. Like,
Yeah, no, I know.
so like part of just realize part of that is just we don't want to take advantage of you like at all, right? And
I don't.
I know
No,
we've
and I
had this
think if at any
conversation.
point one of us feels that way, well, would hope that we could all say like, okay, you're not pulling your weight here, you know?
Yes. So that is I just want you to know that's another element of this conversation, right?
Yeah.
So
Going back to Kristen's point too, like that's where I think she's feeling like I'm not doing enough. So again, and vice versa, like if you guys ever feel like you're like, okay, you guys are slacking here, just say it to us. We
Yeah.
won't cry.
For sure.
so the way
We're like, okay.
I can't speak for Gerber, I can tell you how I think. If the Balloon Guild is slacking at all, immediately that goes on me as like the owner. It's my fault. Whether it's my fault for not doing it, my fault for not paying someone to do it, or my fault for not thinking that it needed to be done, it's my fault.
Mhm.
So I'm battling with two things. I'm battling with, do I ask you to do everything and then just try not to feel bad if you do it all and I feel like I've slacked? Or do I try to do as much as I can and then call you when I'm crying? Like, there's two different sides to that, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to be respectful of your feelings and your thoughts, and I'm trying to say thank you for accepting of what you're willing to do, and I'm trying to give you a list. So I want you to take ownership in the list, and I want you to know that this is a list that absolutely needs to be done. And if I know you're working on it, and if it's showing up in those in the Canva in that website assets area, I'll know where to look. In fact, when I go to make them myself, I'll look there first and I'll say, oh, it's
Yeah.
already done, right? That's why that works the way it does. But as far as the recipes go, like I would love to just say, just make sure we have 10 a week or 10 a month, go. Like that would be a wonderful thing to say and to know that it was being done. But there's also more to it. When like I can't just have you give me recipes because then I have to also teach you how to upload them, teach you how to edit them, teach you like there's more to it.
Yeah.
Which I think you're very capable of doing, but I don't want to put everything on you because it's not necessarily your job. But if you want to be like holder of the to-do list, I think that would be really good as far as that stuff goes. Now I'm still working on development of the website. We're still working on other things, but like as far as the updating the website with our website assets, the photos and the images and the context, the newsletter, any of the recipes, finding people, getting a hold of people, contacting people. Like if we find out that Katie is going to be one of our monthly people or highlight people, whatever Gerber's calling it, then maybe you have a to-do list that says, I'm going to call you, I'm going to email you, I'm going to ask you for this, I'm going to follow up for this, I'm going to make sure we have this meeting scheduled. Like maybe there's a to-do list that you follow with the highlighted person that you just check off.
Right.
It have to be done all in a day, but you'll just know to check off those
It's
things.
away at the list.
Yeah.
I think, did we do Google Docs last time?
I did a
Do you
Google Docs this time.
But so remember the lists that I've been doing, were they Google Docs? I can't remember how I sent them. I'd have to look back. But I'm just saying like I could do like a subfolder of a to-do list in a Google Doc that we're sharing. Does everyone have an iPhone?
I do not have
I
an
think we were doing Google Docs.
Okay, cool.
Oh, and
Yeah,
I'm
I'll find
I'm logged in as the Balloon Guild too. So there's two things, like my personal account I use more often, like when I'm working.
Yeah.
But the like Google Docs, as far as that goes, I use I've been trying to use the Balloon Guild for Balloon Guild stuff as best I can.
Yeah.
So, but I do have some meeting notes for the balloon. Oh, these look fancy. You probably did these.
I don't know what you're looking at.
I guess I can share how fancy they look. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I think this was you.
Yeah.
Meeting notes, and so I'm just going to type in the Balloon Guild. So, but yeah, so that's that's fine. But
So keep plugging away at that.
can you define plugging away?
Like I'm gonna add a new folder to like a new doc for a to-do list that we can like just tick off as we go.
Yeah, that's fine. And I'm a huge fan of using Google Sheets for what it wasn't intended for. So like, I don't know if can I share this too? I guess I can. Share
I
screen.
just put that thing in there for about Jenny for you.
All right, awesome. So this is like my yearly calendar. And then I have my habit systems going on, which I can mark today green because I did my thing. And then have my marketing goals, garden, books, education, family stuff. So like I'm in the middle of planning my year, but this is how I use, and then I color code it so I know what it's about, and then I can click on it to see what's going on that day.
Details.
So, and then on top of that, I have
This is amazing.
my calendar, right? So this is, now this week isn't too bad because I'm getting to relax, but last week was kind of like made me want to cry.
Yeah.
The week before, I guess the week before that was pretty busy too.
Oof.
So just kind of,
Oof.
that one was scary. That was a scary week.
I feel like every time I've talked to you, I know you were having a meltdown there, I think, partially.
Yeah, I was.
I feel like every time I've talked to you, you've been like at home chilling. I'm like, does he actually work?
Yeah, I work. Just
Just
don't ask my
kidding.
wife.
Okay, cool. Okay, so that's it for me. I'm gonna type this list up nicely.
Yeah.
And if you think of things, like you can just put them in the group and I will add them.
Okay. I'm not, like, we're not using currently something like Asana or some type of
Trello.
collaboration. Is Trello one? Is that
I like Trello.
one free?
Probably not. There's got to be a free one that we could figure out.
Slack Monday?
I don't know what that is, but sure.
Slack.com and Monday.com are two. So
Okay.
yeah, why don't we I'll add that to your list too. If you find out a collaboration software, ideally that's free,
Yeah.
that allows us to put together a to-do list that we can work on, because Google Docs and Google Drive is great for so many things, but I feel like it'll get lost
Yeah, I agree.
because we use it for
Just
so
if
much
we can just
stuff.
open this app and like, because it goes by projects, it goes by all kinds of
Yeah,
things.
and if
At
I
least
could put it
Trello
on my
does.
phone and I could just know this is my Balloon Guild to-do list, like I think that'll be fine.
Yeah, okay, cool. I'll do that.
So, all right, awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Any other questions, thoughts, ideas?
No, not right now.
Okay,
I'll let you
great.
know if there is.
Awesome. Well, I'll talk to
I
you
just
soon.
make sure to take this note before you shut the group out. The Jenny Porter thing.
Oh, got it.
It's in the chat currently. Take it out before you shut it down.
All right, we'll do.